Come on in, welcome to my home. Today we're going to do something a little important. Today we're going to talk about, things that you really need to know to make this whole entire home ec thing work. And that's going to be, you're not going to be successful at everything you do. No matter what you see on TV or how many times you've seen it, it might not be real. I mean, there's lots to think about in this. They have to make a TV show interesting and exciting enough so that you'll watch it. But you yourself, when you try to do something new, you might fail. It's really true. You might not do everything exactly right the first time. And the big thing is don't give up. Because a lot of people think that, well, I did it the one time, I'm going to have to give up now. So in case you're wondering how this relates to home ec, well, we're going to be trying a whole lot of new things, and guess what? You might not be good at them. That's okay. But don't just give up. Don't just decide, I'm not good at this, so I'm not going to do it. A lot of people I've seen try something one time, and they're like, that's it, I couldn't do it, I did it that one time. And I'm like, well, no, that really doesn't mean anything. I mean, here I am, trying to put glasses into a cabinet, well, jars, into a cabinet without looking at it. That's really hard. It's much harder than you might think. But we can do it. It just takes practice. And I know a lot of what you see on TV has a lot of people doing the whole, well, look, I did this in no time at all. First time I tried it, and I made everything look completely easy and perfect. Well, that's good for them. And when it comes nowadays to social media and what you see on social media, you have to remember a lot of what you see on social media isn't real. You just think it's real because things have been playing that way. And you're like, well, everything on social media has to be real. Well, no, there's lots of effects in there. There is the highlight reel, which a lot of people show their highlight reel. That's the best thing that they do, their absolute best and that sort of thing. Then there's also the things which are absolutely, completely, and totally fake. Your brain said that I'm vacuuming because you heard the sound of the vacuum. And obviously I was moving the vacuum, but it wasn't anywhere near real. One of the new things home economics has to deal with is the fact that you are looking at this going,
this person made a cake for the first time and they did it perfectly, and I made a cake and mine went bad. Why?
Well, there are a couple reasons. Just so we can be clear, the first few times you do something, you might fail. You probably will fail. Or at least it won't be to the level that you want it to be. And guess what? That is absolutely okay. There's nothing wrong with making some mistakes. It really is alright not to make it perfect. The bad thing would be to not at least keep going. Try it again. And that's one thing that I think we need to really focus in on, especially with this whole home economics thing. You have to keep trying. If you don't do it the first time correctly, that's okay. We are not going to vote you off of YouTube. Your torch is not going to be extinguished. So guess what? Just make it again. The other part about this is don't do it the first time with the most expensive thing ever. Oh, I know. Yeah, I have heard horror stories about people doing their first Christmas dinner, the first dinner that they do, it's a Christmas dinner or even worse, and I've talked about this a lot before. I'm going to make a brand new recipe and try it out on everybody for Christmas, for some big holiday, for some big event. I'm going to make my first wedding cake and it's going to be for my wedding. Why? Really? Practice. This is all about practice. We are starting small. You need to start small. It's just like cleaning your house. It's just like cooking. Start with something you can manage. If all you can manage is boiling an egg, then that's all you can manage is boiling an egg. You know for a fact that from boiling an egg, making pasta isn't that much different. You're still just boiling something. Okay, so that's pretty easy. You can boil. Then from boiling an egg, making pasta, putting the pasta sauce in there, that's really easy. You can just put pasta sauce into a pan and heat it up. Okay, cool. Then from there you're like, well, it would be nice if it had a little bit more oregano or something. You keep adding to that. Then the next thing you know, you're actually making your own pasta sauce because it's just a little bit extra each time. But a lot of people just want to jump in head first and dive into it and think that I'm going to be successful. I'm going to do this perfectly the first time, and you're not. You're not. That's really important. The other thing to remember is one time does not a lifetime make. Here's the thing. Last week we talked about recording what you did for a week. Realistically, you need to do that for a long time, because is 1 week really showing you what actually happens over, the average? 1 week might not be average. It might be an extraordinary week, or it might be a week that is so underwhelming that it doesn't show you what truly represents what's going on. So you need to do scientific method. You need to keep reevaluating these things so that way you can see how they went. And like I said, even though you fail at something, don't think of it as failing. Think of it as, even though you succeeded in a different way because you probably have taught yourself new things that you didn't know that you should have known, or you should have known that you didn't know, however you want to look at it. It does show you that, yeah, you can't just do something one time, expect it to be perfect, and then if it's not, just be like, nope, never touching it again. Because that's not how life works. That's not how any of this works. The important part about this is practice. Lots and lots and lots of practice. It goes back to what I said before, and why I did the scientific method when I did that video, was because you have to go back, do it, reevaluate it, see how it worked, and then go. Now, a lot of this, which is really cool about doing the stair-step approach of this, is the fact that since these things build on each other, you're going to have some idea that, well, this thing was like this thing before, just like I said with the pasta. You're going to have some idea how you can build up from this, so you're not just jumping off into the deep end the first time you try it. Also, make sure that even though you did do it perfectly the first time, see how it goes a couple times before you decide, I'm a master at it. I can do it, because the first time could have been a fluke. Just saying. Alright, well, let me know down in the comments what you like about this. Also, let me know what things you'd like to have me cover. Now, if you're really, really interested in this, you could also then join us on Patreon, because Patreon helps keep this channel going. It makes videos like these possible. It gives me the ability to research the very next video that I'm doing, which I'm not going to give you a hint on, but we will be talking about that a little bit more on Patreon, so that way you can find out what is coming up. You get early access to things, but you can also like and share this video. That really helps, and I hope to get to see you the next time when we actually do something fairly major in our home economics course.